Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. Happy Wednesday. All right, let's talk about it. Government shutdown, right? I said earlier this week, I've said it several times. Don't really care too much, right? With the government shutdown, you can already expect the market to pull back. What is that going to do? Create buying opportunities. I put a short out yesterday, right? Saying that over the last, since the 70s, the last 20 government shutdowns, on average, following the 12 to 18-month period on the S&P 500, the recovery around 12%. So me personally, looking at those statistics, I like this dip, right? And you got the VectorVest 7 software to utilize that market timing to play this to your advantage in your portfolio. Now, tonight's presentation, and no surprise, the market's pulling back, right? So it makes for easy trades, especially if you're okay with, playing to the downside of the market, covered calls, things of that nature while this goes on, right? Just makes sense. Now we're going to jump into this VectorVest 7 software, and we're going to take a look at mining stocks, right? I'm not going to try to show you any more gold or silver mining stocks. No, we're going to take a look at the other industries. We're going to look for low dollar, high reward mining stocks, right? I'm going to show you exactly why, because as the market pulls back, this is where I see the optimism, right? It's like when the market goes up, the mining stocks go up. When the market goes down and there's fear in the market, the mining stocks still going up, right? So let's play it. Don't overthink it. So tonight we're going to be pretty casual in tonight's presentation. We're going to go through the VectorVest 7 software. I'm going to show you my tips and my tricks that I use the software to find hidden gems. So let's get started. VV Nation, it is my pleasure to let you know that our offers that we had over this past weekend at the 2-day investment seminar in Las Vegas, we're going to extend those offers out. So if you want the best prices on financial guidance anywhere, check us out at vectorvest.com/offers. Sign up now as you have until October 6th to take advantage of these special deals. All right, looking at the VectorVest 7 software, this is the homepage. This gives me a sense of the pulse of the market. Now, we can see the major indices, they're pulling back again, right? No surprise there, everything going on in the world today. Look at the Midas Touch. These are some of the top momentum stocks out there right now. All gold, it looks like, all in positive territory, every single one above 1%, right? I've been talking about gold. Hey, I'm still going to be bullish on gold. I just want to, give you more fish. And hey, if we come across some good gold stocks along the way as we, dive into the mining sector in general, hey, all the merrier, right? Taking a look at the top RT industries, fiber optics. It's a hot spot, right? Not surprised. I've been talking about fiber optics. Department stores, I don't trade department stores, but hey, going into the holidays, I could see why there's some enthusiasm there, right? We got biotech ETFs, computer memory devices. This has to do with inferencing, in my opinion, right? There's got to be a lot of memory when it comes to inferencing. That's the next stage of the AI revolution. So don't sleep on memory devices. Now over to the right is where things get interesting. Top sectors, right? Mining has been at the top. Look at the enthusiasm, over 1%. Yes, we can fight for some scraps in the computer space or some ETFs. Not a bad call. But I want to be in the easy trades. I want to be in the trades with momentum, right? So let's dive in. First thing I want to do, right click on mining. We're going to go to View Industries and Business Sector. Now, let me expand this out. Here we go. At the top, gold and silver, right? Not surprised it's at the top. Look at the growth rate in earnings, 10%, right? Look at the others. We got uranium. And then we have the category mining other here just at 1%. Now, uranium, I do like it. You can see the trend is in the favor there. RT, it's at 1.33, a little volatile in nature. But this mining other, this is what I want to focus on more so this evening, right? We've done uranium videos. We've done gold and silver. Me and Glenn, we've been doing this for a while now, right? Uranium and gold. Uranium definitely last year a lot. So let's right click on mining other. We're going to go to View Stocks and Industry Group. We're going to expand it out. So in all of the other mining stocks, again, there's all kinds of things you can mine out of the ground. And we're not talking digital. We're talking physical assets here. 171 stocks in this space. Right now, these are all the stocks with the highest combination of value, safety, and timing. Now, just looking at some of these here, let's take a look. First thing I want to do is see if there's any value here. Like undervalued, undervalued, undervalued. Pretty fairly valued, just above our valuation here. Overvalued. So you can see I'm comparing value. I'm looking for where the value is. So looking at value, that's undervalued. Or Inc. is undervalued. Here we've got Taseko Mines undervalued. So these are some good ones here. And let's take a look. This Gold Royalty Corp. Gold is hot, obviously. It's a royalty company. Look at the sales growth rate. Double digits. Earnings growth rate, double digits. This one here's got -15. All of the stocks I highlighted currently have buy recommendation. So there's some fish for you out of the gate. You can see the symbols here. Take your screenshot, whatever you got to do. I'm not going to go in the charts of these this evening. Now, there's 171 stocks here, right? Let's take a look at some of the other items here. So let's take a look at some of the growth stocks when it comes to mining, right? So I just resorted this 170 stocks by GRT. Again, growth rate and earnings. These are the companies here with the highest growth rate and earnings out of all of the mining companies, right? Now, earnings is going to be that engine that drives the stock price higher, right? So let's see if there's any value with some of these positions. Some of them, look at this one here, Minera Alamos, penny stock, 30 cents, valuation, 61 cents. I've said this a million times. You find a stock under a couple bucks, I'd say $5 or less, that's undervalued with positive sales growth rate, positive earnings growth rate, good numbers, this stock qualifies, right? Yeah, the safety, that's a little riskier than normal, right? But a good stock to have on your radar. This might actually look at the chart here. That's kind of interesting. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. This one here, 393, we valued at 407. This one here's got double digits as well. Price 45, undervalued. So these are some good ones here. So let's right click. I can go to view stock graph. Oh yeah, look at these. The value's rising, price action not quite keeping up. Almost looks like a little cup here, kind of a stalled out cup. I wouldn't get into it right now. You can see resistance coming in pretty strong right around this level here. So if you want some confirmation, maybe take that up to the upside, or you can always aim for the pivot. I do like this bounce off the 200-day, several bounces here. Forecasted data, all moving in the right direction. Actually, a little bit of a turnaround story here. Earnings was negative, forecasted sales was negative, but now positive, right? So I like that. RT, look down below. That looks at the trend. Let's just, very simple indicator. Are the bulls in favor now, or are the bears, right? Looks like the bulls are in favor, but just by a little, right? Now, let's see some volume. I'd like to see a breakout above this, maybe on strong volume. But hey, this might not be a bad trade at all. If I continue to scroll down here, is Groy's a royalty company here. Value rising, price rising, momentum to the upside. Forecasted data, great numbers, but they are stalling out a little bit here. Not quite rising or continuing to grow like the prior stock. Not a bad one. I do like the other stock a little bit better. Very little volume here. $45. If you have a larger account, if you want to get a couple of shares of this, it doesn't look like a bad stock, but again, just low volume. So just be careful buying a bunch of this one. All right, let's close out of this chart here. Now let's resort this now by sales growth rate. Here's the top forecasted sales of the mining stocks, right? Sales growth rate, I mean, look at these, triple digits, the top half of the list. Some of these others, very good as well. Look at this. There's MP. We found a good fish here, right? MP we've talked about, well overvalued, right? The premium is baked in. We already know. This is one of those companies, rare earth companies, that's going to get us off Chinese, dependence. We've talked about this for a while, but a lot of that premium is baked in right now. So be careful of some of those. Some of these other ones that got my attention here. And look at this one. Australian Strategic Minerals coming at 38 cents. We valued at 43 cents here. This one's overvalued, undervalued. I'm kind of curious what that one looks like. And then Imperial Metals Corp here. We're currently trading around 436. We value at 552. Again, great forecasted data on these positions here. So let's graph these. Now we just right click, go to view stock graph to graph these items. All right, not a lot of volume in this one, clearly, right? It's a penny stock. So again, don't load up on a bunch of shares. But hey, it's undervalued. I see value rising. I see price rising. Yes, it's a little spotty because of, again, not a lot of volume here, but it's getting back above the 200-day. Not a bad penny stock. Here's another one, Groy Royalty. We've just looked at that one. Minera Alamos. Again, another good fish to have on your radar. Here's Atico Mining. Big jump up to the upside. Value rising as well. IPMLF. Now this one looks really good. Imperial Metals Corp. I mean, great forecasted data. I see the data retracing, but still good numbers, and sales outpacing earnings growth rate, right? As well, look at this, value kind of stalled out, values declining, price action declining. That's not what I want to see, right? I always talk about this. You see the value going flat, but now look at it ticking up, right? Now you got price chasing value. Great fish to have on your radar here. Again, just wanted to play around with the mining other industry. I've given you a lot of gold stocks, giving you a lot of silver stocks, rare earths, things like that. But just doing this, there's some good fish that we found along the way. So if you like today's presentation, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new and you enjoyed the content, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. Good night.